Roll the clock back just over 2 years. It's the start of November 2016. I haven't yet even started this channel. The vlog doesn't exist. Well, it does exist. It's called Never Too Old, and there was less than 1,000 people subscribed to it. The vlog wasn't going to start again for a couple more months. I was making my Football Manager videos. We had maybe about 8,000 subscribers over on the Football Manager channel, and a couple of people, after I had to give up streaming on Twitch because of stuff that had gone on with work, a few people who had been subscribed and donating on Twitch asked for a way to support me in another way because I wasn't able to do Twitch anymore. So I had a little bit of a look around and decided to open a Patreon. Patreon's something I was aware of from back in my podcasting days. I tried it back then and it didn't really work, but there was a handful of people, I do mean a handful of people, maybe 3, 4, 5 people who wanted a way to make a monthly contribution to what I was trying to do, wanted to be able to support the channel and help me achieve what I was trying to achieve. So I opened the Patreon and those couple of people got involved. And at that point, everything started to change. Now, those of you who've been following our story for a while will know what changed. But for those of you who aren't aware, about 6 weeks after I started daily vlogging, we had an opportunity to try and get Andy back to school. He'd been refusing to go to school for about a year and a half. And for the first time in that year and a half period, my school holidays and his school holidays didn't quite line up properly. So I had a week off when he was supposed to be going to school, and we got to try something. And it worked. They're over there. It's just gone 8:30 in the morning. So he's going to be in the car again in a minute. Assuming he comes back and we don't have a problem here, we'll have him back in the car. He'll kick off in the car when he realises where we're going, but that'll then be 2 days in a row. And then we're just playing a battle of, can we make it a new habit and a new routine? Yes, we could make it a new habit and a new routine, Kev, but we couldn't do it while I was still at work. And at that point, I decided to resign from my job as a teacher. I think, looking back on Social Blade at some of the stats that we had at the time, we had about 10,000 subscribers over on the Football Manager channel at that point, and having just started the vlog, we just hit 1,400 subscribers here on the vlog channel, 1,400 subscribers, and I decided to give up my job. And obviously with that number of subscribers, I was making maybe £200 a month tops out of what I was doing on YouTube. And we had 7 months basically to find a way to support ourselves, and Patreon became more and more a big part of that. And goodness me, did you lot respond, because pretty much from that month onwards, our Patreon has looked a lot like this. It's very rarely dropped below 100 people backing us on Patreon, and straight away you started paying us more than we were earning through YouTube at the time. And it was a huge difference maker. It was the thing that gave us the confidence to be able to go through with the plan to leave work and help Andy get back to school. It was the thing that allowed us to do it without having to go on benefits and kind of... I know the benefits are there for a reason, but it's something that we never really felt comfortable doing. I didn't want to give up a good job and go and claim money off the government because I couldn't support my family, and that might just be a silly pride thing, but the fact that you lot were there to support us meant that we never had to do that. But not only that, it wasn't just a thing that supported us through those early days. It's always been a massive part of what we've been able to do, and even now we wouldn't be able to carry on doing what we're doing without the safety net and the support of these 122 people who every month are making a donation towards what we're doing to support us and give us a safety net, give us a buffer zone. We know that there's never going to be a month where we earn less money than that. Now that pays our rent, and the fact that that pays our rent is massive, and it's allowed us to do so much amazing stuff over the last year and a half that we've been doing this full time. Stuff that you can't, stuff that genuinely we never imagined we'd be able to do. For example, your Patreon money bought our Merlin passes that allowed us to have crazy days out like this one. Us going to Legoland, absolutely unheard of. It was something we were never going to be able to afford to do, but we were able to do it because of the support. Obviously days out at Alton Towers and things as well, that's all support. It's amazing that you were able to help us out. But it wasn't just the Merlin passes. You paid for things like us going to Goose Fair the last couple of years, being able to take a weekend to go and just have fun, take Andy to do something that he absolutely loves doing, take the whole family out to have some fun. It's allowed us to do so many cool things that just based on the decisions that we made wouldn't have been able to, just wouldn't have been available to us without the support that we were able to offer. We've been able to go on holiday for the first time.
It's exactly what I want.
And the second time. So we went on a camping holiday. We went to Blackpool. You've seen all this stuff happen on the channel, but it hasn't all been fun and games. Obviously, most of you will have seen this video. It's had over 2 million views now. This is where we were just after I left work. Yes. This was us trying to get Andy back to school. Now, for the first time, I was able to stay at home and work with him and help him and support him. And we were able to do a lot of work together and spend a lot of time together that we wouldn't have been able to do without the support of the people who backed us on Patreon. And that meant that a year later,
and here's this year. Hello, Andy. You all right?
He was happy.
Yeah.
He was
What's
cheerful.
Today?
He was fine.
It's school. Exactly. You excited?
And he went back without a problem.
You looking forward to it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That work, that time we were able to spend with him,
We know what Dave's
meant he
like.
ate meat for the first time in over 10 years as well. You can see he didn't like it, but he ate it. That wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been at home. And of course, it's not just fun stuff as well. You were able to support us through some of the hardest times we've ever had to go through as a family. And we wouldn't have been able to do it without you, because we wouldn't have been able to go and stay in Nottingham, stay in a hotel. We ended up, I think we calculated that these trips to Nottingham while Anna's mum was ill in hospital, they cost us like £700-800 to do. We wouldn't have had that £700 or £800 if it hadn't been for the support of the people who were on Patreon. So yes, you allowed us to do lots of super fun stuff as well, but you also allowed us to do something incredibly important at a time when we absolutely needed to be able to do this incredibly important thing. And for that, we will always be grateful to what you were able to help us with and what you were able to offer. And of course, that story, that connected with you, so you were able to support us to carry on doing what we wanted to do, allow us to carry on telling our story. And clearly that's connected with a lot of people, because we sit here today and across the 2 channels that we had back then, we've now got over 115,000 subscribers. We've been on TV, we've been on the BBC. We've got another 10,000 subscribers on Andy's channel. Andy's channel alone has more subscribers than we had as a family back when we first started out. We were able to do silly things like go to a pumpkin patch and pick our own pumpkins, plus the theme parks, plus the holidays. It's been absolutely mad. It has been a crazy couple of years. But, and I've got to keep emphasising the but, it absolutely could not have happened without these 122 people who kicked it all off, who made it possible, gave us the confidence to make the decision back when the decision was there needing to be made, and allowed us to get through the absolute hardest moments. The summertime, when I'm not really earning very much money from YouTube at all, Patreon allowed us to carry on through and meant I didn't have to go back to work. When Anna's mum was ill in hospital and we had loads of unexpected bills, it was Patreon that gave us the cushion to be able to go and actually be there, be with her, and support the rest of the family at a time when they needed us and we needed them. And even today, it's Patreon that gives me the confidence to be able to turn down 95% of the stupid ad deals and brand deals and advertising spots that people offer to us. We don't do adverts and brand deals on this channel that don't make our content better. I think the pumpkin patch video we did absolutely was great content. It made the channel better. Being able to go to Blackpool was great content. It made the channel better. But we've never done any of the betting sites that have been in touch with us constantly. We've never done any of we've never tried to sell you a mattress, because quite frankly, I don't know how we can turn a mattress into a good video. And it's the fact that we've got Patreon there that allows us to have that confidence to not just chase the money, not just follow the money. We're able to say, actually, we can stay true to ourselves and true to our vision for what this channel is, and we'll just do the stuff that we want to do because we don't have to do everything else. And if Patreon wasn't there and Patreon didn't exist, we would have to say yes to a lot more horrible stuff, even if we didn't want to do it, because bottom line, we've got bills to pay. And those people who have been supporting us over the last couple of years on Patreon, you help us pay those bills, and I'm very, very grateful. So I wanted to put this video out today. I was planning on doing a video like this at some point in the next month or two anyway, but it's Patreon themselves who actually gave us the nudge, because they're doing their hashtag Thank You Patrons Day today. So this is my Thank You Patrons video. To anyone who's ever donated $1 on our Patreon, thank you. I hope this has given you a little glimpse of the difference you've made to our lives, and you have made an incredible difference to our lives. You've allowed us to pursue our dreams. You've allowed us to improve the quality of the life of our family exponentially. You've allowed us to get Andy back to school. You've allowed us to make all the fantastic developments we've made with him over the last year. But you've also, as you've seen in this video, allowed us to have a lot of fun and helped us when we needed you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. One last thing, if you're sat there thinking, that's all nice, Kev, but you know what, I can't afford to back you on your Patreon, please don't feel that this is sort of backhanded, please give us more money, or a dig at the people who haven't. I appreciate every person who has ever watched any one of my videos, ever clicked like, ever clicked subscribed, ever shared. I don't expect or ask or demand money from anybody. The fact that there's a group of you who had a little bit of spare cash and wanted to help support us, I'm not going to hide away from the fact that that was life-changing and channel-changing and was made all the differences in the world that we've talked about in this video. But absolute bottom line, we still wouldn't be able to do it if there wasn't 100,000 plus of you who engaged with what we were doing on a daily basis. So thank you to you as well. You're all brilliant in whatever way you've supported us, whether it's through watching a video or sharing a video or buying a t-shirt or making a donation to a charity because we made you aware of it, or backing us on Patreon, or any of the many other ways that you can support the channel. You allow us to carry on doing what we're doing. You are helping us in all the ways we talked about today and more. Thank you.